Welcome to For the Story. I didn't think of an intro. Oh, just kidding. I'm fucking excited because we're here in person. This is Ash.
And this is Avery, and that's right. The first time we've done this in, like a year?
Yeah.
We did this a couple times. We've had a couple in person.
It's been less than a year this time, though, because April was...
I think... Well, no, because Alita... In fact, oh no, but we did do it the Endgame episode where we were all pretty drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's right. Ash, we drove from Los Angeles to Austin, and
boy, are my feet tired. Wait,
we ran from LA to Austin.
Record time, 2 days. We're the fastest men on earth. We're also that podcast. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I'm here now.
It's wild. It's really good. We're still settling in. There's an adjustment period. If you can't tell, there's a ton of reverb on the recording. It's because I haven't set everything up yet. So, yeah.
We should have just put all of my stuff that has no place because I don't have a dresser yet.
Just put it in here.
And
that probably would have worked.
I don't want to touch. I don't want to move anything in my life. It keeps turning out that like I have to drive in life. So that's been a bummer. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's how it goes. So it'll slowly taper off. Once you're all prepared and you have all your big stuff here, hopefully you'll just have to walk places. You know what I mean?
That's possible.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just like I have the car technically. And like all of the check engine lights are on now because I just put 1,500 miles on my car.
Yeah. Well, get an oil change or something. It's probably all you really need.
I just need to pay someone $200 to turn a light off. That I already know. But anyway, this week, very exciting movie. Drew Barrymore, 50 First States.
That's right. We saw The Invisible Man and also Dog Soldiers.
We are kind of amending this episode because, as it turns out, Avery picked a bad movie.
Yeah. Not like bad and like this is funny and look how hilarious this is, like bad, and we were trying to watch it and we got bored enough that we were like, we should turn this off.
Yeah. And the second time I opted to just build a bookshelf instead of watching it.
He cut down a tree, dragged the logs back in, planed them, sanded them, and put them all together. The movie was still going.
Yeah, and all I heard was like,
a lot of that. That's pretty accurate. And then I throw in some fucking Kuntz in there.
Yeah,
and then,
oh my god.
Basically
you gotta be fucking kidding me.
So we wanted to talk about, at least for the story, we like to discuss some other movies that, before we get into our movie of the week, which this week is pretty underwhelming.
Oh, man.
But we actually saw something that we want to discuss a little bit before we get into that anyway, which is The Invisible Man, starring Elizabeth Moss?
I think it's a white woman. I know there aren't a lot in Hollywood, so that probably narrows it down for everyone listening. In case you haven't seen anything about this movie. The
Invisible Man was fucking cool.
It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Let's do like a mini view of it. So what were you... Because basically we went to Barnes & Noble's. I'm like, I want to get nerd shit. And then I didn't want to. And then I was like, we should go see a movie. Do you want to see this movie? Kind of sprung it on you. What were you anticipating before you got in the theater?
So I'm pretty sure there's actual audio of you saying The Invisible Man. Did you see the trailer? And me probably saying like, that sounds stupid. Or something like that. Like what? Oh, we're going to go see Inviso-Bill? Like, sure, man.
I hate Jessica Alba in the Fantastic Four.
And so I'm sure that there's like legitimate audio of me just trashing that movie and being like, I don't fucking care. Which is awesome because it turned out so good. So I get to eat my words again.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. But anyway, so we ended up seeing it and I was just like, you know what? Why the hell not? Why the hell not?
We had some time to kill. I mean, we were just hanging out in LA. We did what we wanted to do super early.
Yeah, like way early.
Yeah, you were way off time zone.
Yeah,
so.
it was really weird actually. So I felt like I slept in until 10:30, but in reality, I slept in until 8:30.
Wow.
And I was so hungover.
Yeah. I picked up Avery at the airport, and I was just like, oh. Avery's had drinks.
I told you, I was like sending you pictures of the beers that I was having at the airport.
Yeah, but but in like the foreground, you put like your Switch with like the most ridiculous Pokemon names on it.
And that Alistair, he caught.
Yeah.
He was just like,
well, he's caught them all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stop.
Thank you. I did it.
So I had a couple drinks at the airport. I got on the plane and I was just like, you know what? I'm on a plane. And what do you do when you're on a plane? Sleep. You drink. Is the answer to that question. I had a really late flight. It was 8:30 in the morning. No, I'm kidding. It was like 10:30 at night. So I got a Jack Daniels, and if you guys don't know, Jack Daniels is the smelliest booze.
Oh yeah,
of all time. So I smelled particularly like Jack Daniels, which is just a great look. I'm glad we didn't have to meet your mom that night.
Yeah, my like sober mother.
So that was good. But then we went to that bar, Brennan's. That place was pretty cool. They gave me a shot of not Menta. It was Fernet Branca. Because I was just like, hey, so you guys have Fernet, and he was just like, do you bartend? And I was just like, yes. How'd you know?
Immediately.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, so we had a fun little trip, and we did see The Invisible Woman. So that movie...
Invisible Man.
Oh, God.
Inviso-Bill.
Okay. The Invisible Girl.
Mr. Visible.
Yeah. The fantastic Mr. Visible.
Can I just say real quick, if he's the Invisible Man, how come
I can't see his penis?
How come, wait, if he's the Invincible Man...
Oh God!
How come you can see him?
Jesus Christ!
It's not a good joke.
It's a joke you made 3 times while we were waiting for the mountain of trailers to be complete.
Oh yeah. Oh, so let's get into this. Let's talk some expectations real quick because I think it's pretty clear I didn't care. I didn't really like. I was like, whatever. But when you brought it up, like, hey, there's a showing, I was like, you know what? Yeah. Because I had heard good things between the time that I trash talked it and the time that I got to LA. So
I was paying, so you're like, yeah, I'll do it.
I'll never say no to a movie. It doesn't matter how bad. I wouldn't say no to Dog Soldiers. If you're like, dude, Dog Soldiers is playing in theaters next to my house.
Really?
What if it was like at the like alternate universe? Dog Soldiers was at the movie theater in Playa Vista.
I wouldn't pay for it.
Well, knowing what you know now, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't pay for it.
You wouldn't pay for it even.
Avery's like, feeble attempt to destroy me. I know that I wouldn't pay for that. Come on.
Fair enough. I
should have done this in the mud mask I was wearing earlier. I think it would be way fun.
I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could look at you.
We were talking about like fucking politics, and I realized like I'm wearing this green mud mask, and I think I came out and I said this is a really piccolo point in my life.
Hey,
that's the color
good one.
It was. But we were like talking about politics, and I'm fully decked out in this. I have no idea.
I forgot about it. And we started talking about socialism, and I was like, you know,
yeah. But yeah, no, my expectations were pretty medium. I really thought the trailer looked kind of good, but then it had Blumhouse involved, which is always
a big
questionable.
Or a big like up in the air. It could go either way.
I mean, their ratio is not good. Like they
maybe 50-50, maybe.
Oh, I think that is very generous.
I think they've been getting better in recent years, from what I can tell.
Which one did they do that was really good?
I can't remember. They've done a lot of them. They've done a lot, especially recently.
I think was Hereditary Blumhouse?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so
unless it might have been A24.
I mean, A24 is a distribution company, whereas Blumhouse is a production company, so it could have been both.
Could have been both. So, yeah, it might have been Blumhouse, but they you know, every so often I think like their whole strategy is they just pick something and just throw money at it.
Yeah,
they're just like, do it. You know, and which is a strategy that can work or can bite you in the ass. Luckily, they've made enough money that I think they've started to vet their projects better.
Oh, not just The Black Coat's Daughter, the most boring film I think I've ever watched.
I haven't heard of that unless you mentioned it, but yeah. So Invisible Man. We sat in the theater. There were so many trailers. We were like I was really hungover and we were both really tired because neither of us had slept basically at all the night before. Yeah. So we were like nodding off as like the trailers were just going forever. I was hungover, having a panic attack. Not really.
What are you talking
about? I was trying not to fall asleep. I told you before the movie started, I was like, I might fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of a panic attack. But anyways.
But the movie kicks in.
Oh, the movie starts out
so fast.
So good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been at the edge of my seat for an entire movie like that.
Amazingly tense.
Like
the first scene sets the precedent for the movie so well. Yeah. Like there is not a minute of relief in this film at all. Tension all the way through.
Barely any dialogue. Almost all show, no tell, and you get 100% of what is going on. Yeah. What the situation is. And I had some idea from seeing the trailer. You hadn't seen the trailer.
No.
So I think for both of us, it was kind of a generally positive experience right off the bat.
I hadn't seen the trailer, which apparently the big reveal is in the trailer. Ryan told me
it still was shocking. It was still surprising to me, and even though they do show how it happens, the context wasn't there.
Yeah, and so this movie, if you haven't seen the trailer, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I think going into it without having seen the trailer, which apparently was that makes me so mad because it was so good. But probably the best reveal of a villain I have seen in any movie in years.
Yeah.
In so long. That was so built up, and then even after that happens, it doesn't let up. The scene keeps going, and
I think it really was good. So efficient at making you scared of something you couldn't see.
Yeah.
And it could have been right in front. You were uncomfortable, and I was always waiting for a shimmer or some kind of indication that he was there. They don't even give you that, but you're so desperate for it because it would give you a little bit of relief.
Relief. Oh. They do not give you any relief. Another thing that they did really well was the sound design. Was incredibly good. The music itself was incredible. Whoever scored that movie did a really good job. Mm-hmm. They used these really low musical stings for when action-y things were happening. But they added in these really light pitter patters and stuff when he was walking and breathing and being in visible places. And the movie was A+.
A+.
Yeah, we both left holy crap, that was way better than we expected.
And we did figure out the truth of the matter with the semi twist after the big action scene.
Yeah,
we kind of talked it through and we did figure it out. And maybe down the line we'll reveal why a certain someone was involved, even though they said they weren't. If you saw the movie.
So without spoiling anything, the twist is good. There's some stuff that you can kind of be okay, I know what's about to happen, as it's happening, because I think it was the way they framed the one reveal, where it's just that's about to be someone totally different, but won't say anymore. And so The Invisible Man, definitely go see it in theaters. It needs to make more money. I don't know. It's probably making money, right? It was super cheap, so it's got to have made its money back already. But
because it was only a $9 million movie. We did talk about this.
Yeah, and but super cool. I'm really glad that they were able to make something what did we say? An Adam Sandler movie's $90 million. So they could have made 10 Invisible Mans for the price of Jack and Jill, or whatever.
It was the A24 movies for Sonic. I think was the so. Yeah. The thing is we have to account for no one's going to the movie theaters right now because it's Corona.
That's true.
And it's 17.3 million is how much it has brought in 65 markets, and
that's pretty limited.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
So. I mean, I'm glad it's at least broke even because it needs to.
The international total. Okay, so it's getting more love internationally. 45.6 million. It's totaled 96 million.
It's very visual. Ironically, it's a very visual movie. So,
and maybe we will see so they tried to start this whole dark universe thing.
Yeah,
resurrecting and modernizing classic horror monster movies,
and it started with The Mummy, the Tom Cruise The Mummy, which anyway, they moved on to The Invisible Man.
Much like us, they moved on to The Invisible Man.
Yeah, and they did a much better job. I think the whole thing is they were okay, that's not going to work, so they scaled it back, probably gave it to an indie director.
Yeah, and then I was about to look at who directed it. Let's take a quick look.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious because I feel like I remember seeing it and didn't recognize the name. So
do you? I mean, I don't remember looking at it. Oh,
I could look it up too.
It's Lee Whannell is the director.
Definitely don't recognize that name.
Let's see if he did anything else we would recognize.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Because I'm curious. I want to look into it. Maybe something.
So he did the 2004 Saw.
Okay.
Upgrade, Insidious Chapter 3.
Upgrade was kind of cool. I actually see the influence there. Upgrade was an interesting movie. For being kind of stupid, it was good.
So let's take a look at this filmography a little more. Because he's been in a couple movies. So he directed Upgrade, which you had seen, and Insidious Chapter 3 before this. He's also going to be directing an upcoming Escape from New York reboot. I don't know. I trust the guy. At this point, I'm sold.
Yeah, it could be good. I wonder if they'll get Kurt Russell's son, because he looks exactly like Kurt Russell. No, his name's like Wyatt Russell. He looks exactly like Kurt Russell, dude. It's like unreal. He was in this is him right here. Dude, he looks exactly like him.
Wait.
He's just a blonde Kurt Russell.
Yikes.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary looking.
Yeah.
Like disconcerting.
He was in Overlord, which came out either last year or the year before, and that movie was fucking sweet. Yeah. We're gonna watch that at some point, because that movie was fucking awesome. Like, that was another one that was just like starts as one thing and then totally goes and becomes something else.
I like that movie.
Yeah, that was a really fun one. But yeah, The Invisible Man, I don't know, man. I couldn't think of it. Like, with the only like argument I can make against it is that the latter like third it turns more into an action movie, but they still managed to keep it extremely tense. I almost have no fault. For The Invisible Man.
Mine are just like very minor inconsistencies. Mostly,
he's kind of unstoppable.
Well, yeah. Number one, he is the greatest fucking.
He's a combat master when he's in the invisible suit.
There is this 6'3" just jacked cop who's a good guy in the movie. He is such a monster, and he takes him down like he's a little wimp.
Well,
and
you're stronger. Well, he is the Invincible Man. So.
Yeah, of course. I forgot. That's why they don't beat him at the end.
That's why you can't see him. He's invincible.
He's invincible. Of course. How could I? Also, the suit at one point gets holes in it, and somehow the electricity doesn't short out.
Yeah, without saying too much, let's not say anything else. But yeah, it's really, really good.
And the design is kind of Ant-Man and the Waspy.
Very, very Ant-Man and the Wasp. I liked it though. I thought that it was like a very good modern idea.
That's what Marvel does really well, is they have modernized fucking villains from the 80s and 90s
and
to like
followed
not
in
look
those
terrible.
Footsteps. Yeah, like thinking about the Invisible Man, like when that was excuse me, thank you. The Invincible Man, the first one probably came out like 150 years ago or something. So like,
this is the first movie. The Invisible Man, the original one, is just a train going through a tunnel. It scared everyone in the theater. It scared Ooga Booga and his wife Oonga Boonga because they were cavemen, because it's the first movie. He's just looking at me like, shut up, dude. I just try to slurp my gin and tonic really loudly. Just so
it was a cave
judged.
painting.
The first cave painting is the one you can't find because it's of the freaking Invisible Man.
Genius con artist. It's called how do cavemen talk? Like, it's called the Invisible Man. That's why you can't see it.
It's called the Invisible Man.
Inviso-Bill. That's stupid.
One day the female version be in Fantastic Four. Played by Jessica Alba. A woman with the bad business taste.
And they're all like, ooh. Ooh. Because they're cavemen. Yeah.
Of course.
So Invisible Man, that movie was pretty sweet.
Yeah, quick number. What would you give it?
I hate being this person. I think it's a 10.
I don't disagree. I think
it's a 10.
It's a great movie.
It took me so off guard with how excellent it was.
Yeah.
So
I was not expecting them. I looked at it and like, the concept's fun.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be good.
Yeah.
Like good.
Especially not having seen the trailers. If you haven't seen the trailers, fucking don't. Because apparently they spoil the whole movie. So fucking don't.
No, that's Ryan being a POS about it.
No, maybe.
I saw the trailer. Yeah. I saw that reveal. I was still on the edge of my seat.
The reveal was so fucking good.
I also will not be seeing it on the big screen, I don't believe.
Yeah. Dude, like, yeah, oh my God, I was like actually scared.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I kept turning to you and going, I hate this.
It's so like, oh my God. It just like I was like trying to hide.
Yeah.
it was really good because you knew it was going to happen, but like the movie was so unpredictable. It just like really drew it out. So Invisible Man, there you go.
It's like a more accessible version of The Lighthouse in terms of just the stress and the like the emotion of
the
it,
discomfort.
Yeah, but
The Lighthouse was just a disgusting movie. It was so uncomfortable.
It was super uncomfortable. But this movie, I think, captured that essence, but made it like, hey, there's an action element and a traditionalist horror element for America.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it did really well.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like thinking about like when they were producing that, they were probably like, how can we take something so dated like The Invisible Man and then make it modern and work as a horror movie? And they fucking did it.
They did it.
Yeah, and that makes me like really excited for the rest of this Dark Universe crap. We wrote Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, I totally forget what we were doing.
I kind of remember.
We were kind of playing with the idea. And I'll put up you should check out our Instagram for the Story Podcast on Instagram. Put up a poll if you guys like this idea. Maybe once a month or something, we get a movie that's coming out in the future. And Avery and I, we pitch what we think it should be.
We're going to try to write it.
We'll call it Movie Pitch Mondays. It'll be a random bonus episode one of the weeks of the month.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
It's an invisible episode. Yeah. Actually, I guess they're all invisible.
Yeah, if you think about it, you can't see this episode right now.
Yeah. So
don't hurt your head thinking about
it. But so that's exciting. What was our idea? It was so good. It was like, it's going to be like The Shape of Water. Like they're going to throw some of that in there, but poorly executed.
Yeah.
So there's going to be like a love interest woman who falls in love with the creature of the Black Lagoon.
Listen, we were so delirious at this point in the drive, dude.
It was early on. It was like before we got out of California.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think it was.
That's not good, because I do not remember it.
And we theorized that his blood or something would have the cure for cancer, but he would also be like wanted by the military because they want to like militarize him or something. And so like he would be on the run and he would sacrifice himself for the woman he loves.
I think at one point we pitched that he wasn't actually from the Black Lagoon. He was like
a fish man. He evolved from a fish. That's right. Or the other way.
Wait, no. I thought that he was like an oil worker whose suit got covered in like kelp.
Yeah.
And like, so everyone thought he was a creature, but he wasn't really a creature. He was a guy who just had been living in the Black Lagoon.
That's the dumbest twist. He's just a guy. He's like, what? And like all the kelp's like,
honey, where's my super suit?
Oh my God, he has to be a hero. He zips up and he becomes like, oh, when's the team up movie gonna happen?
Elizabeth Moss as the Invisible Woman.
This is all leading into the Fantastic Four. What? Dracula.
Dracula, who is Mr. Fantastic.
Frankenstein will be the Thing.
Of course.
Yeah,
and the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Human Torch.
Which makes no sense. Well, he's covered in oil.
Just needs to spark it up, baby. Flame on.
That's so bad.
All right, guys, we did it. That's it for the episode.
That's so terrible. That's so dumb. Oh my God, I can't wait.
So I think in the future, Avery and I, since we both live together now, it's harder for us to watch our own movies and talk about them. So I think I'm pitching this now and acting like it's a thing. Avery will scold me after the podcast if it's not.
As always, I'm really verbally abusive.
We will have our announced movies every week, but we will also find one of the movies that we watched during the week that you guys won't know about that we will also review.
Keep them secret. We're going to try to post some more stuff out here since we both got off of work at the same time and we're like, what the fuck are we going to do?
Well, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to
we're going to do the gym, cook some stuff, throw a movie on. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Once I am not living out of my suitcases, it'll be great.
Yeah. We definitely have stuff to work on. Although the room's coming together. It's happening. There's my bed.
Avery is pointing at a couple pillows he put up against the wall to try and make the room sound less echoey.
I don't even think it did anything. I think it's just all in my head. I think I'm just imagining that it sounds different.
And I'm looking at things and I'm very concerned for Avery because there is a clothing hook on his desk for some reason.
Oh, I had a use for that at some point.
Did you?
Well, I think I was going to try to hang something from it.
A loofah.
No.
So for a hobo shower while you're
maybe
gaming?
Headphones. I don't know why I thought that headphones would go on there.
I mean, if you bent it out, you could probably do it.
Yeah, maybe that was my plan, and then I couldn't bend it or something. I don't know.
You're so strong here. Let's talk about this week's movie.
Dog Soldiers. Oh.
Soldados de Perro.
Oh, wow. That was good.
Yeah. A Mexican film, Dog Soldiers, came out in 2042.
None of that's true. This movie was actually Scottish.
Don't look at me like I know fucking anything about it.
Or it was from Wales or something, probably.
I don't think because of the way they say fuck.
Yeah,
what
they
the
were Scottish,
fuck?
man.
So Scottish.
Yeah, they sounded super Scottish. It's about werewolves. And that's pretty much it.
Let's get into our expectations.
All right, yeah. Let's do the thing, the actual way the podcast is done. Ash, since I said my expectations for the good movie this week, what were your expectations for Dog Soldiers?
Fuck you, dude. That was my expectation. Yeah. I was like, oh, of course, Avery's gonna make me watch this the first week, so I can't pretend like I like watched the first 30 minutes and pretend like I know what the rest of the movie is, which I've definitely done one other time, trying to figure out what
one
episode.
Other time.
Yeah, one
was
other.
It Jurassic Park?
No, it was a bad movie.
Wait,
no, I've seen Jurassic Park before, but I did watch all of Jurassic Park. I just didn't pay attention the whole time.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
but there is. You guys should go back and listen to Avery's recommended episodes because there's one movie where I fully didn't finish the film.
Was it The Thing?
No, I watched The Thing.
Man.
He's just like waiting for me to hurt him.
Was it Axel?
No, Axel, I recommended.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's true.
You do not remember any movies you recommended.
I don't remember what we did last week.
That's a good question. Oh,
I don't remember.
Boy Who Cried Werewolf?
Was that last week? What did we watch last week? No, Guns Akimbo.
Oh yeah, Guns Akimbo.
Yeah.
Akimbo. Yeah. So my expectations were very low. Avery has did gotcha journalism at me. You hate to see it, guys. I just was not excited as soon as he turned on Shudder, and I remember the time where they charged me extra money even though I asked to cancel. And
sour.
Yeah, I'm just an asshole about it. So yeah, super low expectations. What about you? I know you had seen part of this movie before.
Yeah.
But what about going into it this time where you're like, oh, Asher will make it more fun?
No, honestly, I had seen this. This was a sci-fi. I think the way it was distributed at all was that it was a sci-fi original movie.
I do know that it made on like DVD sales $226,000.
Really? So it probably came out either straight to DVD or also as a sci-fi original. And that's the way I had seen it. Because it was just on the Sci-Fi Channel, which I used to watch a lot of the Sci-Fi Channel and like their original movies, which usually like very hit or miss. Sometimes every so often there was one that was like, wow, that was kind of interesting and good.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember if this was one of them or not. I vaguely remembered the house and I remembered the look of like the werewolf costumes. So I was like, you know what? I saw that it was on Shudder. I read a little bit about it and apparently it's kind of a cult hit. Like the people who like this movie really like this movie.
Have you ever been to a cult hit movie like showing?
Yeah, when people are like excited about it and stuff, like Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
People like,
well, like okay, Rocky Horror is kind of the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
But if you ever go to like a cult hit showing at a theater, they're fucking monsters. They're like, it's like
really,
just like you can't find a room of more unattractive people.
That's the cult.
Yeah.
There's a reason. Yeah,
the cult.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, the cult of classics or what have you. But no, it's just like. Calling something a cult classic, I immediately get like think of
skepticism.
Think of my worst looking friends and just like people like if someone was to clone them badly, just like fill up a theater and just be like,
this is a really hot take, man.
Yeah,
the people who watch movies like listen to us, right?
Oh yeah, they love cult classics, but listen. If you're pretty, you would have already,
you'd be going to the real movies. Let's be real.
You'd be DMing me. They'd be like, Ash is the most handsome podcast host. I already don't trust your taste.
So cult hit. People apparently really like this movie. And I guess I can see... No, I can't.
No, you can't.
I can't.
No, this was...
I don't know. It wasn't good.
We had some good commentary the first half. Second half, less so.
Yeah, we didn't. We barely paid attention.
Yeah, we barely made it.
I was doing dishes.
Yeah, I was building a dresser drawer. I think
He was building a hut in my backyard.
Yeah. You have a backyard? What? So, yeah.
So, yeah. Those are our expectations. Neither of us thought it was going to be good.
Nope.
But...
It wasn't.
So... let's get into the pros.
Okay. Pros.
Woo! You get to start this time, too.
Okay. One of the best parts is the fact that none of these characters are memorable.
None of them. It was almost to like a comedic level. Yeah. Like people were dying and they were like, there was one time one guy died and they were all like, Terry. Why Terry? And we were like, fucking Terry, when did he get here? Like,
yeah, and like the one you remember, which is Bruce, because Bruce is like the hardest.
Oh, I
like
totally forgot about Bruce. I remember Sarge. There was Sarge, and then there was Captain Ryan. Then there was the girl
and Cooper.
And I don't remember. Oh, there was one guy where they put it out and they were like in the big guy, and he like wasn't. It was like Cooper
and the big guy. No, Cooper was the Dolph Lundgren looking guy.
Okay, and then there was the guy who barfs.
Yeah. I think that was the big guy. The guy they described as
I don't
the
think
big
so.
guy.
I think he was the little guy, Tiny or whatever his name was, they called him.
Tiny Archibald.
Yeah.
Former NBA Hall of Famer.
They call him like Mouse or something. Yeah. Or is that the Matrix?
I think that's the Matrix.
An equally uninteresting cast of secondary characters in that movie.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a hot take, but completely accurate. Yeah, I think there's something to be said of just like, there was just a room of like, undiscernible characters because they were all the sassy ones.
Yeah, every single one of them always had quips and everything. The only one that stood out was Sarge, and it was because early on, like he was serious when everyone else was sassy, right? And so they all had one that was just like, yeah, I'd ride your mom to the footy game or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was always something like that. And so and they were all they all had the same voice. They were all white Scottish dudes.
Mm-hmm.
They
there
all
was
looked
like one
exactly
blonde guy. There was like one blonde guy.
But he was like the corporal dude, like the more important guy who took charge after the Sarge.
That was Cooper. And he was like the main character.
Pretty much. Yeah. They like kept trying to like shove in this love interest with the exobiologist or whatever she was.
Yeah, cryptobiologist.
Yeah. Like,
cryptozoologist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which she literally was.
Like there was like no romantic overtones literally at all, and like everyone was like, oh, if you're banging that girl, like why are you even talking to me or something like that.
It's like,
we're like, what?
Like when someone would just walk in and be like, wouldn't it be crazy if you guys had violent sex right now?
They kept saying it. They were just like you have been the whole movie. And it like never happened. Like there was never any flirtation or anything.
No, and it was bizarre because she looked like a lot of like. It was really weird how people looked like other people. Namely, Cooper, who looked like Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah,
and then the girl who's I think her name was Mary. I want to say. She looked like Drew Barrymore, but at first you thought she was Arwen, so because she
did look like Arwen in that light.
Yeah, and so we kept making jokes that like actually she was going to go to the west, to the Undying Lands,
because she like picks him up in a car inexplicably. Like they're just like Sarge's guts are hanging out, and then like they're carrying him like
another pro.
Yeah,
people like stayed alive for the dumbest reasons in this movie.
There was one time like a werewolf cuts Sarge's guts out. And he's like, "My guts are everywhere; they won't fit back in." And like there's guts everywhere.
It's this insane cut where they cut straight through the skin to the point where the guts can come out. But did not damage the guts.
It's true.
It was insane.
Yeah,
the accuracy.
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
And he was upset that Bruce had died.
Yeah.
Oh, that fucking cunt.
Yeah. And so Sarge ends up being fine. They stitch him back up later somehow. Because they find this like hut when Arwen picks him up and drives him to the west to the hut. And then they get out. And so now it's just a bottle episode.
Yeah.
And the whole rest of the movie takes place in the house.
Yeah.
The whole rest of the movie.
Which like they should have just committed to that in the beginning, I think. Where they were just staying in a cabin. But then
it's like the second like 2/3 of the movie. Like the whole first act is like
kind of interesting because they're out in the woods at least.
They're like doing different stuff. They're still dicking around in the woods, but like where's it gonna come from? It was a little more like Predator.
Yeah.
You know, like definitely. You could see like the vision of the werewolves, which was like kind of a fun idea, I guess, especially for a TV movie. And then like you know, they did kind of the thing with aliens, although the characters weren't nearly as memorable. Like at least the characters in Aliens, they all stood apart. Like everybody had a thing. Like there was the sassy guy who ends up cracking under the pressure and he's just like, we're all gonna die. And then there's like the quiet guy who ends up taking charge. And then there's like the badass Latina chick. You know, like everybody had a thing. In this one, they were all the sassy white dude. So it was so much less interesting. Like trying to see them getting to bond and stuff.
Yeah, because there was no real bonding. Like the big bonding scene was they sat in a fire and around a fire and
finally introduced the characters halfway into the movie.
And they're like, oh, like, what are you afraid of? And one guy's like, a penalty shot. And the other one's like, watching a penalty shot with this guy. The other guy's like, castration. And everyone's like,
okay.
Who's this fucking monster?
And then the one guy was like, spiders and women. And we said something, we were like, and spider women, and then he said it, and we were like, oh.
Yeah, Jessica Drew is a very powerful and frankly intimidating Marvel superhero.
I would be afraid too.
Yeah.
Frankly. But so they all kind of like, I think they wanted that to be more interesting about their characters, like what they're afraid of and stuff like that. But it ended up just being like totally inconsequential. Like there wasn't like a single guy or like the main character being like, you know what I'm fucking scared of, mate?
Whoa.
Dogs.
Yeah. Dogs. Oh, we have to talk about like the incredible first scene where it's just a guy in the woods and the James Bond villain's just like, kill the fucking dog.
They're like, it's hunting this guy for sport or something. Like, who fucking knows? Like the special forces.
Yeah.
And they're like, you better kill that dog. And the guy's just like, I will do it. I will do it. And then like, he shoots the dog. It's pretty fucked up. And then there's a dog later in the movie that I think makes it the whole way through the movie. Does anything happen with the dog?
I don't remember. I remember that it seemed like someone was going to shoot the dog a couple times.
Yeah, but it never really happened because somebody was always barfing on Captain Ryan or like...
Okay, so...
the butt of so many slapstick jokes.
I want you listeners to look up the song Genghis Khan by Mike Snow. The bald guy is exactly the like kind of villainous... special ops guy in this one,
like Moby,
like Moby, but in this one it's actually a really great music video. He's like a super villain and he's trying to kill James Bond and like he clocks out and he's like has like a sad life with his wife because he's in love with James Bond. He lets them go and then they do interpretive dance.
That's so sad. But yeah, Captain Ryan looked like a James Bond villain. And he was always talking like one too. It was because he was the only guy with like an actual British accent. Everybody else had like Scottish things going on.
You knew he would. It was like...
it was so obvious that he was a villain.
Incredible how long we knew he was a werewolf.
Yeah.
To actually turn into like...
because they find him with like big slashes down his chest, right? And he's like, oh, they got away. Oh, there was only supposed to be one. But then he ends up being fine. Oh, that's when they find all of the just like conveniently loaded fucking rifles.
Yeah.
Like, with hundreds and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Good thing, you know? One guy finds like a shotgun. One guy finds like a rocket launcher. One guy's like finds like a satellite death ray.
Yeah.
It's great.
And one of them finds the president from Independence Day, the ultimate weapon.
Chewbacca's there.
Yeah.
Chewbacca's one of the werewolves.
Yeah. Oh, I had a list. Wait. 1 second.
Oh no. A list of what? A list of characters that need to be added to our medley?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Hellboy.
Perfect.
A signed mugshot of Shia LaBeouf.
Just like...
Kevin James in Hitch. Seabiscuit. And Ellen Pompeo in Catch Me If You Can. What? I don't even get that last reference.
Just so many random characters. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. It reminds me of, like, you know that episode...
could have been a Hellboy movie.
Yeah. Yeah. If Hellboy was in this...
better movie.
I think it would have been better. Like, if Hellboy was in it and they gave him good dialogue.
Yeah, they would have been like, holy shit, no, I'm not the sassy guy. Yeah. He's the sassy guy.
Yeah, and then everyone else could have just been like... you know, kind of nameless. It just like focus all of the attention on Hellboy. This could have been a better Hellboy movie than it was a werewolf.
Do you feel bad?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I shouldn't have put that there.
It's very precarious.
By the way, I broke. No, I didn't break anything.
Awesome job. Our pros kind of coincide with our cons. Were there any other authentic? The gore in general did look good.
It was fun. There was like one part where a guy gets his head ripped off, and that looked pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it looked good.
I was like, that was the coolest shot in the whole movie. Like, he rips off his one of the guys gets his head ripped off and then thrown at his friend, and it's like on the hood of the car while the guy's trying to start the car.
And then something happens where it like falls into a drain and like spins like it's a toilet. Like,
it's so dumb. It's great.
Crazy.
Yeah. Some of the gore was actually pretty awesome. Yeah.
And then also just the amazing part where the Sarge's guts are missing when they're right about to do the surgery.
Oh yeah, we found a mistake.
Yeah,
it was like so they literally say that they super glue the Sarge back together because they're just like, you ever heard of super glue? It was invented to put wounds back together, to put your guts back in, Sarge. So they literally super glue the Sarge back together, and then he's fine. Except he's drunk and he falls asleep when the werewolves attack. You know the classic story.
Yeah,
Sarge gets drunk.
Man meets girl.
Yeah,
girl falls in love with guy. Guy leaves girl.
Guy turns into a werewolf.
Sarge gets drunk,
falls asleep. He's perfectly fine though. His guts are back in.
Yeah,
his guts are back in.
He definitely doesn't have any infections from being in the woods for like a day.
No, come on, it's Scotland, pristine.
Yeah. Well, it has very crisp air.
Yeah, it's beautiful. No staph infections there.
I think they really missed an opportunity to put Nessie in this movie.
Yeah. Oh,
dude, werewolves
they could have just thrown everything
Nessie?
fucking in there.
Holy shit. I'd watch that.
That movie's probably real.
That movie is,
probably real.
Or Sharknado versus Loch Ness Monster.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Why are there not any more Loch Ness Monster movies?
Yeah, I guess it's
Loch Ness Monster versus Godzilla? That'd be a good fight.
It'd be a good fight. I think
Godzilla
would win. Yeah. Because, like,
if something was as big as Godzilla in Loch Ness, we would have found it by now.
Yeah. Well, what if the head that we thought it was just a tentacle and there's something much larger, more sinister?
I like that a lot. Yeah. I like the idea that there's an eldritch horror down there waiting to fight Godzilla.
And that's why Scotland's kind of a bummer. This has been my essay.
Anyway, do we have any cons?
Yeah! Of course we have cons. This movie's fucking awful.
I don't have any cons. Everything that I liked about it was something that was terrible about it.
Okay, so the last half of this movie, if you were a blind person listening to this movie, you would go literally insane during the last half.
Yeah. There's a lot of like dialogue that is incomprehensible. We had to watch it with subtitles.
How about I guess it's just my time of the month.
Oh yeah, because I guess the exobiologist lady turns evil.
Well, because she's a werewolf. She's part of that family.
Oh, she was part of the. Oh, they loaded that up pretty well earlier then.
Yeah.
That's actually really obvious now that I think about it.
Oh, super obvious that she was a werewolf the whole time because she like knew the dog. You thought she was squatting there. I was like, no, this can't be.
No.
But she the line she gives before transforming is, I guess it's that time of the month.
Which definitely written by a woman. Let's just start.
We were literally talking about how like, do you think this was written by a woman? No. Of course not.
And she's like, I guess it's that time of the month.
And we
this is the worst line.
Yeah, in just complete unity, booed the television.
That's fucking bad. It's really bad. Captain Ryan had another really terrible line, and I can't remember what it was. He was just like, well, bark, bark, doggy, or something like that. It was something so stupid. We were like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's a line to go out on.
A lot of fucking terrible one-liners. And then I will say, the unpaid off Chekhov's gun bugs me.
Which one? They
introduced the Claymore.
No, they used it.
Yeah, but they cut
You just missed it.
Yeah, but not at the end. That was clearly the move to win.
They stab Captain Ryan after he turns into a werewolf. Mm-hmm. And he's like hiding all the bodies in the basement and stuff. And then you go down later and he still has a stab through his chest, but he's not dead. Because although the Claymore should have been silver and should have been the weapon that they used to defeat the werewolves.
Yeah.
Comes down to Cooper, and he has to use the Claymore to defeat. Like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, and then also, of course, that classic thing of, like, zombie movies where these people know about werewolves, but they just don't call them werewolves.
We did talk about this.
And
it's a big problem.
It is a huge problem. Because because the lady's even like, they're werewolves, and everyone's like, I don't know.
I've never heard of those, lady. Yeah, it's just like, what? Yeah, you're exactly right. Or like, it's always in like every zombie film where like the characters refuse to say the word zombie. They'll be like, oh, they're walkers. Oh, they're Zebos or something like that. You know,
they're big stupid. Z's.
Yeah,
like only in like really like hipster self-aware movies like Zombieland do they call them zombies.
Yeah,
but
there needs to be more of that because it totally removes the relatability like completely. Like, what fucking world does somebody live in? I guess, like, maybe if you were in a situation where you were being attacked by werewolves, you wouldn't, your brain would be like, that's something out of mythology, or that's not real. Mm-hmm. So you would be like, those are fucking werewolves. But if somebody straight up tells you, we're being attacked by werewolves, I'm a crypto exo metabiologist, I know they're fucking werewolves. It's that time of the month. Like, you would be like, okay, yeah, well,
so let's find some silver.
Let's find some silver and kill them. But I don't even think that ever happens.
No, and like they like unload fucking huge guns on these guys, and then
thousands of
sometimes attacks work on them, and it's very poorly defined. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was really interesting to see, like, they were always just like, we need to conserve ammunition, and then they would just shoot like hundreds of rounds at these things, just an insane amount of bullets. Yeah. And so, like, and they were just like, conserve ammunition. It's just like, there's no consequences. I think there is a scene where they're just like, we have one magazine left for the MP5s. We have 6 shotgun shells. And then the one guy holds up like a bullet, and he's just like, and then 1 extra or something. But it's like a bullet. It's not like a shotgun shell. And I think he was like trying to imply that he was going to put a bullet in the shotgun. And that's just like, it's not how it works. You don't just put stuff in shotguns.
Yeah, maybe you don't, because you're not brave like me. Anyways.
I just like noticed that. I was just like, that is not something that you would put in a shotgun. But I maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he was like referring to something else. But that's still not something.
I doubt it. I don't think these people know what the military is.
Yeah, probably not. Not really. Yeah, man. Oh, that's another thing. Like, in addition to all of them being the same character, they were all wearing the exact same thing. They were impossible to tell apart.
Like, especially because the movie's not well lit. The color correction on it is awful.
There's no color correction. It was back in the 90s. Or no.
2002.
Yeah, there was color correction. It didn't look very color corrected.
No, it looked super bad. I thought like it was super lame because they tried to do predator vision for the werewolves, and it was in black and white. I'm like, oh, because their dogs are so clever.
Fucking
it's like,
racist.
Whoa, dude. Dogs only see color. Dogs are the most racist. I actually had a racist dog.
Really?
Yeah. No, my grandma died on my mom's side.
Yeah.
She was living in Mississippi, and she picked up like a little Chihuahua pinscher.
Chihuahuas hate everyone.
No, this dog hated black people.
Oh my god.
And bikers. So
maybe it's just like
she hated hippies and black people. It's a Mississippi dog. Sorry to all of our listeners in Mississippi. You must be so offended.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding. Damn. No one listens to us in Mississippi.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, shit, racist dogs. What do you know? I guess that they do exist.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a racist dog. We do exist.
A racist dog soldier.
I don't get why it was called dog soldiers.
I think it's because there were werewolves and soldiers in the movie, so they just...
It would have been way better if the special ops team became the werewolves instead of just this random third party.
I think that was the idea. So
it was that family. That was the whole...
Well, it was the family, but also the special ops team that was hunting the people for sport. Mm-hmm. Like the whole people that were with Captain Ryan, they were out there at the same time, and then the training team comes in at the same time, coincidentally. And then I think they attacked the werewolves from the very beginning of the movie. When they attack like the campers.
Mm-hmm. But they pulled their bodies apart, dude. I don't think those guys turned.
Well, there were already werewolves, and then those guys become the werewolves, and the family becomes the werewolves, and they're all just attacking. So yeah.
No, they were talking about how like it was the family at the end of the movie, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was just that one guy who survived the attack.
Yeah. I thought it was a whole bunch of them. I thought the idea was that the special... Then why is it fucking called Dog Soldiers?
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this movie is fucking stupid. If you like it, I don't know what to tell you. See another movie.
It's like, I don't know. It's not that...
Avery,
I want it to be okay.
Watch the last half.
I like the idea behind it. I like that it's like an indie crap fest. It's just a crappy indie film. And I want it to be good, but it's really just... We were really fucking boring. Or we weren't. We were interesting. We were more interesting than the movie. The movie was fucking boring.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do?
Well, we can watch Bloodshot next week.
Oh, Bloodshot's going to be good. That's what we're watching.
It's going to be a good one.
I can't wait. Vin Diesel. Some other people.
Yeah, I don't know who else.
Mr. Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel is Bloodshot in Bloodshot.
Yeah, because of his eyes.
Yeah. And his coronavirus. You can have any beer you want as long as it's a coronavirus.
Dos Equis. They've actually renamed Dos Equis COVID-19.
Oh, good. Excellent marketing choice.
Yeah, because, they started making a reserve ale, and it was bottled in 2019. So
they called it
the COVID-19. Yeah. It's a bad move.
Yeah. No, that's a great move.
Yeah. They're just giving bottles away.
Dude, I read this article that was like 62% of Americans.
I think it was 38.
No, it was like some enormous percent. It might have been 38%.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
38%.
Yeah, it was like admit that they won't be drinking Corona after the virus.
It depends.
Imagine being someone who thinks that they're related.
If 1 million people die, I think Corona will not be a thing anymore. If less than that die, I think we'll be okay and we'll still have Corona.
Yeah. But like, why is Corona like not using this as an excellent marketing opportunity? Like, they need to spin it into something funny to get people to keep buying the beer.
Yeah.
You know? I know bars all over Austin, because South by Southwest got fucking canceled, by the way. It would have started like yesterday, or Monday of this week. So it got canceled, and bars all over town are doing Corona specials, which is fucking hilarious and dark, but also really fucking hilarious.
I feel like they just have to like do a commercial where it's like a vaccine. Wait. A vaccine is a dead portion of a virus put in a human body to give them slow immunity so their body knows how to react to it. Why don't you put a little Corona in your system? It's like people fucking drunk at the beach just screaming, like someone's just vomiting and retching on the side of the thing. Their eyes are bloodshot. They're like...
But the guy drinking the Corona is fine, right?
Yeah, and he's fine.
They need to market Corona as if it's the cure to COVID-19.
Yeah, it's like...
That's how they need to market it right now.
Like a zombie apocalypse, but it's just a guy walking around drinking Corona. And it's like, inoculate yourself.
It's like, the answer's clear. Drink Corona. It's like,
with lime.
Yeah. Fuck it. They need to market it like it's the cure to coronavirus. That's their only option. They just it's America. They could probably do that. You could just straight up lie in advertising and there's no repercussions.
No. But I feel like then there's a problem though. Because a Corona with Lyme would imply that it would also cure your Lyme disease.
That's great. It's a twofer right there. Lyme disease, the silent killer, the largest disease problem in America.
What do you mean by largest?
Disease. It's the largest. It's the biggest one. Is Lyme disease.
It gets so large.
Did I ever tell you
when this big?
Did I ever tell you when I didn't have Lyme's disease, but I had Lyme disease? And it's actually a real thing. So I used to cut limes for this job I was at, and I would squeeze lime juice. That was like all I did, like all day. I squeezed a lot of limes, and I would get the lime juice was on my skin, and I was biking around all the time in the Texas heat in the summer.
I see you got like chemical burns.
It's called like phytophoto phosphorescence or something like that, and I got really bad blisters all up. Yeah, and it gave me like all these spots like all up here. It was really fucking bad. And I looked into it and I was like, why the fuck is this happening? Like, am I dying? Like, this isn't good. And apparently it's pretty common. So don't ever drink a margarita on the beach because you will get burns on your skin, especially if you have really light skin.
Well, okay, especially if the way you drink a margarita is by like pouring it on your chest.
Yeah,
if you get it all into your mouth, you're gonna be okay.
So if you are drinking a margarita on the beach, use a straw. Just gonna say, but use a recyclable straw.
Very cool. Very woke.
Like a paper straw or something, because if you're on the beach,
a metal straw. Well,
there's no solution here. You're either gonna get Lyme disease or you're gonna kill a sea turtle.
Why are you mad at me?
There's nothing you can do. The world's ending. It's coronavirus.
Okay.
I am the virus.
I'm like super concerned right now. I think that the only cure for this conversation is for us to get into our rating segment.
The podcast is infected. If you're listening to this, you have coronavirus.
Avery's like having a fucking breakdown. Would you believe that I'm the one who's had a drink?
What if I turned into a werewolf? Because that's what coronavirus makes you do.
I don't know, man.
I guess the podcast would be over. Somebody would have to post it. Who would post it?
I don't know, man.
All right, yeah, let's rate this movie. All right.
So, for the story, we have a pretty basic rating system that's not at all convoluted, dumb, or super subjective.
And it's definitely arbitrary.
Oh, 100%. We give 5 words that we feel describe this movie. We give...
What else do we do?
Rating out of 10, and we let people know whether or not we recommend seeing this movie. I got my 5 words, I think.
All right, I don't have mine.
Okay. Don't start writing. Like, he pulled out some notepad, like a notepad, like he's gonna.
I don't have a pen up here.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll have to use my
It's
blood.
that time of month.
Shut up.
This movie's the one.
It's a 1? Is that what you said?
Don't watch it.
Who was surprised?
This movie's fucking terrible. If you see it and like it, I'm concerned. I'd love to hear why.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good thing. If you really like it, write us a strongly worded email. Yeah. I really just want you guys to email me. It's so fucking bad.
Avery's so lonely.
For the story podcast at gmail.com. Send me anything.
Or you could do it in the form of a 5-star review on iTunes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts if you want. And you can also leave why you, for some reason, like Dog Soldiers in that comment. And we will...
Read it
and probably say something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll probably make fun of you.
Yeah, probably a little bit. My 5 words are rate us on Apple Podcasts.
You suck, dude.
Yeah, I use that.
You self-shill.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a Dog Soldier's shill. They paid me to say that.
Oh, you a dog.
But yeah, so Dog Soldiers, it's like, I don't know. I think I liked it more than you. It's a 2 out of 10. No, it's a 3 out of 10. That gore was pretty fun at sometimes.
Actually, 10 out of 10.
Actually, perfect. 11 out of 10. Actually, it's COVID-19 out of 10.
Yeah, this movie predicted COVID-19.
This movie is COVID-19.
Yeah. It'll kill you if you're elderly.
Or a werewolf.
Yeah. What? Why are none of the studies showing what it does to lycanthropes? Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Racist. Yeah. Anyway,
is lycanthrope a race? I guess in 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, it technically isn't a race that you can be. Of course, I apologize.
So Dog Soldiers, if you can see it, I mean, it's on Shudder. If you have a Shudder account, you've probably already watched it, so you might as well watch it again.
It's a really weak recommendation, dude.
Yeah, so there you go. That's Dog Soldiers. I don't know, it had some fun gore. I gotta give it the gore factor.
It did. For me, the cool gore lasted all of about a minute total.
It's all put together, it's about maybe 2 minutes of the runtime
of the good shit, of the good gore.
That good shit.
That just doesn't pull me, and it's long. It is long.
It's like an hour and 45 minutes.
It's way too long for what it should be.
It felt way long. It could have been if there was a lot of them just being in the cabin and talking, they could have trimmed it down by a solid 20 minutes and I wouldn't have complained. Normally I'm just it's not even 90 minutes. It's not a movie. I think in this circumstance, it would have done them some favors.
Yeah, they kept trying to do this thing where they were look, we're giving you all these different possible story leads. Which one is going to be? It's going to be the special ops guy's a werewolf. I don't know.
What super obvious one.
Yeah, and so they kept just talking like there was going to be more stuff.
Yeah.
And
that Claymore should have been more utilized. It's the most ridiculous scene. The army guy finds it in a chest and
why the fuck was that there? And then there's the ridiculous part where he has the Claymore in one hand and a frying pan. Yeah, frying pan in the other. Yeah. And the guy puts down the Claymore. He's don't use that. And I'm just why fuck?
Not? That's a good. You found a sword, dude. We're apparently low on ammunition. We only have 2,000 rounds left.
The amount of bullets they were using. The bullet. I don't know what would be the term for that.
Copious.
Oh, no. The bullet conservation.
They kept talking about it we have to conserve ammo, but nobody was listening.
Yeah, the bullet counts on those guns were just silly. That one scene where he's just unloading the shotgun and he shoots maybe 10, 12.
Way more than you could store in a shotgun.
It's that shotgun, certainly.
Yeah. And that was an old shotgun. And it was 10 shots that he shot. And then he shoots another one after. And we're what? Oh no, one of the werewolves takes the shotgun from him and shoots it back at him.
Like, why do they have guns the whole time?
Yeah.
Why isn't one wielding a claymore?
It just like really opens the possibility. Like, what can't the werewolves do? If they know how to operate firearms...
Which means that they could have actually done Dog Soldiers, where they were actually like army werewolves.
Like, that would have been kind of cool, right?
Yeah, or would combat werewolves. It'd be stupid in a way that I could get behind.
Like, we deploy them in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
That sounds cool. Or, like, it could just take place in Afghanistan, like, on an army base. Like, everything's all fine and dandy. Something bad happens. Somebody gets infected with a werewolf disease, goes crazy, kills a whole bunch of people on the base. That actually sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better.
It had...
Yeah.
There were a lot of ways to improve this movie that just weren't jumped on or maybe even thought of. I'm just not sure how much thought was put behind this.
Are there any found footage werewolf movies?
It's a great question.
Because I feel like werewolves, like monster movies in general, work really well for found footage. And I feel like that could actually... This movie could have been found footage. Nah, it wouldn't have been. There was too much like grandiose like background music and shit like that. You know what I mean?
There is one called Where, W-E-R. 2013 movie. A defense attorney brings a suspect that a defense attorney begins to suspect that there might be more to her client, who is charged with murders of a vacationing family.
Where?
That meets the eye. W-E-R.
Is it German?
Oh my god.
And in France.
It's the worst looking werewolf I've ever seen, my guy. Holy shit.
We should watch this.
Yeah. Oh, this lady.
Is this found footage?
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll look into this. William Brent Bell. I feel like I've heard that name. Anyway, so that's it. We got more werewolf movies coming to you for Werewolf Spring 2020.
Yeah, hot werewolf summer. Let's go.
Wet, hot werewolf summer.
Oh, I can't wait to see who Paul Rudd plays in that one.
Yeah, probably the werewolf.
Yeah, they're all werewolves.
Or the guy who gets killed by the werewolf.
I mean...
The asshole boyfriend.
The asshole boyfriend werewolf.
Who jumps out and like scares his girlfriend and her friends. Yeah. And they're like, Brad, you're such an asshole.
Yeah, he never lets his girlfriend talk to any other werewolves, otherwise he gets jealous.
Like, babe, come on, you knew it was me the whole time. Sounds nothing like Paul Rudd. Come on, you knew it was me the whole time. He's making spaghetti.
A who wolf?
A
what wolf?
A how wolf. A what wolf?
A when wolf?
A when wolf, dude.
Dude, when wolf is a great
time traveling werewolf movie. Yes. The when wolf. That's so dumb. That's like
no one steal that.
That sounds like something out of a Dr. Seuss fucking or like the Phantom Toll Booth.
Yeah,
there'd be a when wolf in the Phantom Toll Booth.
I'd watch a when wolf movie.
I would too.
All right. Well,
anyway,
it's settled. We'll make that movie. Don't steal our ideas.
Don't steal any of our ideas. All of the gold that we provide to our listeners. Yeah. Don't steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. What do we say anything else on the end?
Oh, we love you.
Send us things. No, I don't know. We don't need to do that. We don't need to ask them for stuff.
Why are you asking me like you don't know that we don't have to?
I can't. I'm like at a loss for what we do at the end of the show. Anyway, thank you guys for listening so much. We love you all. Bye.
They killed fucking Bruce.